whenever people copy an extensive text by hand, they're going to make mistakes. And if they're really good and they correct their own work, they may be able to get that down to one error in several thousand characters, but often it's not going to be as high a rate as accurate as that. And so that means you have manuscripts and they have differences. And so what you need to do is you need to study them and you need to look at them. But then you start digging down into those manuscripts and you start asking yourselves a question like, how careful is the scribe of this manuscript? Do we see evidence that they are preserving the spelling of what's come before? Or are they preserving the paragraphs? How do they fit in a genealogical table with all other manuscripts? And from this, what you can typically do is find out that there are some manuscripts that are more reliable than others. You can look at the age of manuscripts. And you can also look at what changes are more probable. So we know that often when people read, they look at the beginning and the end of a word. So a common mistake that can happen is when you have a word beginning and ending the same way, two words, one can be switched out for the other. These are things that can happen. Or for instance, if you've got two similar phrases, sometimes a scribe will actually give you the same phrase twice rather than two slightly different phrases. So these are common things and you can trace them and remove them. So for instance, if you've got in one particular country, the scribe has got these two phrases the same, but we've got in lots of other countries where the two are different, we might well say, well, because there are more and they're more widely spread, and it's probable anyway that someone would make the two the same rather than two different. All of those things together make it look like what's happened is that in this particular location someone's assimilated things. Now you can't always make a decision on that, and you can leave some decisions uncertain, but what you can say is that as you apply knowledge and study to these areas, you get a lot of resolution in these issues.